Hello, everyone. Welcome to our math video this week. We are going to be going over this worksheet today. So solve for x. That's what this video is about. So this worksheet, I know it looks kind of scary, right? We've never seen something like this before. But today I'm going to go over how we are going to do this, okay? Because really, we are just going to think of this x as a blank. We're just going to fill it in just like we fill in all our other numbers. So in solve for x, we're going to do this worksheet together. So if you want to follow along and complete this worksheet with me, you can do so. So the first one we have is 2 plus x equals 3. Okay, so our scary x is here, and like I said before, we're just going to treat it as a blank, okay? So I'm just going to erase it up here on the board, okay? Because we're trying to figure out what number is supposed to be there, okay? So we have 2 plus blank, or plus x equals 3. So one way that we can do this is I'm going to use some counters today. We can use any of our 7 different addition strategies that we learned last week. Remember, we learned to count by our fingers. We can use tally marks. We can use pictures. We can use 10 frames. We can use counters. We can use our head and count on, right? There's all those different kinds of strategies that we can use to help us add. So, hold on. I'm getting my counters. So I have 2 counters, right? Like this. I have 2 counters, and I want 3 counters. So I need to figure out what number is missing, right? So 2 plus what equals 3. So I already have 2. Let's add 1 counter to see what happens. Okay, I added 1. How many do I have now? 1, 2, 3. So I got 3. So how many did I have to add to get 3? 1. Yes, good job. 1. So my x is 1. So on my paper, it says 2 plus x equals 3. We found out that the x equals 1. 2 plus 1 equals 3. So it says x equals right here, and I'm going to write a 1, because that's what goes in our blank, right? 2 plus 1 equals 3. So we're just treating it as a blank, right? Just treating it as a blank. Okay, we're going to move on to our next one. Okie doke. Our next one says 3 plus x equals 5. Okay, so then I'm just going to treat it as a blank. So I'm going to write 3 plus blank equals 5. So we're trying to figure out what number goes right here. And for this one, I'm going to use tally marks to help me count, to help me add. So I have 3, right? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 tally marks. 1, 2, 3. And I need 5, don't I? So I'm going to add 1. Okay, there's 1. How many is that? How many tally marks do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4. So not enough there. And then what about there? I'm actually going to spread these out. Whoops. I'm going to spread these out a little bit so we know that I started with 3. So I'm going to move my 3 over here. So now I added 2, right? I put 2 over here. So how many do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5, which is our number that we're trying to equal, right? So how many did I add to 3 to get 5? 1, 2. So I'm going to write a 2 in our blank. Okay? So then we're going to come over to our paper. And it says 3 plus x equals 5. And we made our x a blank, right? And what number did we fill into our blank? Yep, 2. Good job. 2. So x, our blank, equals 2. Our blank equals 2. Okay, now the next one. Okie doke. So our next one is 3 plus x equals 4. And we know we turn our x into a blank. So 3 plus blank equals 4. For this one, I'm going to use the strategy of drawing pictures, okay? So I'm going to draw 3 hearts over here. 1, 2, 3. I have my 3 hearts, and I'm trying to get to 4 hearts, right? To fill in my blank, right? So I'm going to draw 1. One more heart. How many hearts do I have in all now? 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's our number, right? Our number 4 we're trying to get to. So how many did I add to 3 to fill in our blank? 1. 1. So our x is 1. Our blank is 1. So on our paper, 3 plus x equals 4. We figured out that our blank is equal to 1. Good job. Okay, on our next one, it's 7 plus x equals 8. Okay, so we think of our x as a blank. So we just act like it's not there. We just need to fill our blank in. So 7 plus blank equals 8. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to use my fingers. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7, just like right here. So here's my 7, and I need to get to 8. So 7, I'm going to add one more finger. And then let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many fingers did I add to get to 8? 1. I just put my 1 finger up, didn't I? So my x, my blank, equals 1. Right? My blank equals 1. 7 plus 1 equals 8. See? My blank, or my x, is 1. See how we just take away the x, and then we add our new number that completes the equation, don't we? Okay, we're halfway done with our worksheet. Okay. The next one is 4 plus x. Okay, I'm going to start over because that one looks crazy. Okay, so 4 plus x equals 5. So that means that we can take our blank, just take the x out. So 4 plus blank equals 5. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute to see if you can do this one on your own, and then I will show you. So decide what strategy you're going to use to figure out what goes in this blank. You can use your fingers or tally marks or counters, or you can count in your head, whatever you'd like to do. I think that I'm going to use my counters again. So while you're thinking, I'm going to go ahead and get my counters ready. And then we'll go over it together. Okay, so I have my 4 counters, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have my 4 counters, and I want to get to 5. So let's just add one at a time and see how it goes. How many counters do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did it. So how many counters did I add? Whoops. How many counters did I add to get to 5? 1, right? I only added 1 counter. 4 plus 1 equals 5, right? So our x, or our blank, is equal to 1. 4 plus 1 equals 5. Okie doke. Our next one, we're almost done. 6 plus x equals 9. Those are some bigger numbers. So 6 plus blank, just a blank, equals 9. Okay, so I'm going to use my fingers to do this one. Or actually, I'm going to use tally marks, and I think it will be easier for us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I need to get to 9. So over here, I'm going to add some, and we're just going to continue counting on. So I already have 6, so 7, 8, 9. Oh, I got to 9. How many tally marks did it take for me to get to 9? How many tally marks did I add on this side? 1, 2, 3. Oh, whoops. 3. So my x, or my blank, is equal to 3, right? It's equal to 3. And I am going to let you do the last 2 on your own, okay? I think that you'll be able to figure out. The important thing is that you don't let this x freak you out, okay? Just make it a blank, just like we did, and figure out what number goes into the equation, okay? So when you're doing the last 2 on your own, remember, just make this into a blank, and I encourage you to use your addition strategies, like using your fingers, or using counters, or tally marks, or whatever works best for you, okay? And let that help you figure out what to do next, okay? I know you guys can do it. I'm super duper proud of you. And I'll see you next time. Bye, you guys. Great job.